How many people will understand Christianity but not understand that Christianity is nothing more than a retelling of the same age-old stories that have come down through time? As a matter of fact, the Bible is not called the greatest collection of facts ever assembled. It's called the greatest story ever told. And the reason why it's the greatest story is because to do a little homework, you're going to find out it's the oldest story ever told. As a matter of fact, it's the only story ever told. It's called astrotheology, the study and the worship of the heaven. So anyway, the heavens. Now, if you go out at nighttime and look up at the sky, what are you looking at? So you're looking at the sky. What's another name for the sky? Another word for the sky is heaven. Well, that's where the sun's at. At 12 noon, the sun's high in heaven. So therefore, they said that God's son was in heaven. Of course, they never believed that when they died, they would go to heaven with God's son. I mean, at least they knew that much. But at 12 noon, the sun was the most high. Consequently, they said that God's son was 12 when he was in God's temple. God's temple is, of course, the heavens, and at 12 noon, he's in the temple. So that's why he was 12 when he was in the temple. And that since everlasting life came from God's Son, the sun was round. It was a circle in the sky. So the ancients saw life as a round circle, an endless circle of life, pictured in the sun. So that was the way they kept time then, was on a round calendar. Today we call them like a sundial or that kind of thing. That's where they came from, the round calendars. As a matter of fact, the Aztecs and the Mayas and the ancient Mexicans kept the round sun calendar. Now, the sun calendars were in Egypt were round, and they were divided by 12 parts, just as all sun calendars are, 12 parts of 12 months. And each one of the months was called a helper to the sun, because it helped the sun do his job on earth in that particular month. And later on, those particular months were called houses, because as in the Babylonian scheme of things, they began to develop what was called astrology, so that each one of the months then became a house. And so therefore the sun, God's Son, the light of the world, who is our salvation because he is risen, had 12 helpers, or 12 apostles, right? And then the sun also enters each one of those houses of the zodiac, or each one of those constellations of the zodiac, at the 30th degree. And it leaves at the 33rd degree. Therefore, they said that the sun begins his ministry at 30 and dies at 33. This is a very, very old. As a matter of fact, there are many books that trait at least 15 other major religions that have used the sun, God's Son, as the light of the world, has used the sun in the same context, in the same religious philosophy that was developed for the worship of God's Son. And there is at least 15 other major religions. And as a matter of fact, one of the books right off the top of my head was 16 Crucified Saviors by Percy Graves, a great book for that kind of a study. There's just so much more I have in mind, but I was wondering about the time here.
Oh no, we're doing okay.
Okay, well, I'd like to keep going because there's so many interesting little points that I feel that valuable to bring out in relation to the subject of religion and the one that we're dealing with today.
Okay. At this point, I think this is a good spot to take a brief musical break, and then we'll come back and pick up on that, because we're going to eventually lead into
we're going to lead into some very controversial stuff.
This all leads to white supremacy.